mismatched fonts, random colors, and thumbnails that look like they were designed by kindergartners. Relax, you guys. I'm not talking about you. I'm actually referring to myself from just a few months ago. So if you found this video, but you're feeling like your branding is a bit of a mess and your thumbnails need some work, you're in the right spot because I'm going to simplify your YouTube branding in the next 8 minutes. So for newer folks, branding can definitely feel overwhelming and complicated. There's just so many choices from colors, the fonts to banners, logos, lead magnets, and websites. But today we're going to keep things very high level, very simple, so that no matter what your skill level, you can follow along. But first, we need to ask the question, why do we even care about branding? Now, a lot of YouTubers don't realize this at first, but branding isn't just about making things look good. It's actually about recognition and about building trust with your viewers. So when your branding is all over the place, it's really hard for people to remember your channel and it makes your content look less professional. But when your branding is consistent, everything looks polished, people are going to be much more likely to subscribe because they get to know you and trust you. In other words, branding makes it look like you've got your stuff together, and people like people who've got their stuff together. So here's an example, a simple thought experiment, if you will. Over here on the left, we've got the channel page of Steve Thompson. And then over here on the right, we've got yours truly. So without thinking too much on it, which channel page appears to be more put together, more thought out, more trustworthy, and more credible? Now, don't worry about hurting my feelings. Put your vote in the comments below and be sure to include why you think so. So if you're stuck, unsure what colors or fonts to even use, fear not. We're going to tackle all of that right now in 3 simple steps. So step 1 is to use this prompt, which I've included in the link below, into ChatGPT. All right, we're just going to grab this prompt right here and we're going to paste that into ChatGPT. Now notice, once you use this for yourself, there will be some fields that you have to replace regarding your niche, your audience, and your brand voice. So I'm just going to insert something generic for the sake of demonstration here. Okay, so we're going to go with fly fishing. We're going to go with audiences middle-aged men, mostly outdoorsy type folks who like fishing. The brand voice is fun, energetic, masculine, and direct. Let's see what ChatGPT says. Okay, so far we've got our primary color, which is deep forest green. It's given us the hex code, which we want for Canva. And then we got our complementary colors of rust orange, steel blue, sand beige. All sound great. And then as far as the font pairings that are available in Canva, it's recommending Montserrat and Oswald as our primary potentials, plus Open Sans and Laura as our body. So we could pick either one. It's giving us 2 options here. And then in terms of our brand voice, this will again will be something we import into Canva, is energetic, masculine, adventurous, direct, and authentic. And it's giving us some reasons why that is the case. So this prompt is great to get you started, but it's really just the tip of the iceberg. If you want to go deeper on branding and brand identity, I've got a Google Doc that's free to access inside my school community. So check the link in the description if you want to grab it. All right, so now that you've got your brand identity dialed in with ChatGPT, it's time to bring it to life inside Canva. Step 2 is to set up your brand kit so that everything is in one place, and then I'll show you how to apply it in step 3. Okay, now that we've got Canva up, the first thing we're going to need to do is create a brand kit. And I should make a disclaimer that brand kits are only available with a paid subscription to Canva. So if you don't have that and you do want to do a brand kit, you may have to upgrade. Now, you'll see once you click on the brand kit on the left side here, you'll see my existing brand kit, but you'll also see some options to add new. So let's go ahead and add new. And we're going to name this just test brand kit. And then we get served quite a few options. So we're going to take some of the information that we got from ChatGPT just now, and we're going to actually import it here into Canva. Now, the first thing is if you have a logo that you want to include, you can certainly upload that file. I've included my own logo in my own brand kit, but really what we want to focus on for the sake of this exercise is the color palette. So let's go ahead and add in some of the colors that ChatGPT recommended. We're going to go right here. We're going to grab the hex. We're going to copy and paste that in. We're going to keep adding all of the colors that it's given us. And so far, these are the colors. It didn't recommend a white or off-white, so we can just go ahead and add whatever we think, because we do need to have some sort of off-white or close to white for copy in any of our documentation. So we'll go ahead and pick that one. Now we're going to select our fonts, which ChatGPT recommended right down here. We can either go with Montserrat Bold and Open Sans, or we can do Oswald and Laura. Let's go with Oswald and Laura. And basically, it's giving us options for our heading and for our body. So I think for headings and titles, we should go with Oswald. And then for things like body and section header, we'll go with Laura. So just click on title and then come to choose a font, and we can do Oswald. And then for body, we're going to do Laura. So we've got our fonts in here now. And then the last thing will be to add our brand voice. So a brand voice is really just a way for Canva to know if and when it recommends copy for any of your materials, how to basically make it sound like it's coming from you. So I'm just going to copy all of this in, and I'll give you an example of how to use this here in a little bit. And then we'll save that. And if you have commonly used photos, graphics, or icons that you want to use, you can go ahead and put those in here as well. But since we're really just talking about fonts and colors, we're pretty much good to go. Okay, we've set up the brand kit, but how do we actually use it? Our third and final step is exactly that, and it's actually a lot easier than you think. Check this out. Okay, to see it in action, we're actually going to take a stock template from Canva. I already found one earlier. It's this brand kit demo, and we're going to show you a couple ways that you can apply the brand kit that we've just built for ourselves. Now, imagine for a moment you want to use this template for your own purposes. Maybe you want to write an ebook or create a lead magnet. You really like the format, you really like the layout, but you, of course, want to apply your brand kit colors. So, all we need to do first is just come over to design here on the top left, click on that. It'll default to templates, but you just need to click on styles. And then you'll see a section here at the top that says brand kit. Now, by default, it has my brand kit already selected. So, all we're going to do is pick the new brand kit that we've just made. And now that we have that brand kit selected, we have our fonts and we have our colors. Watch how easy it is to change the colors on the entire document all in one click. All you need to do is click on your color palette, and it'll start to give you options as you shuffle through the different colors in your palette of potential ways that you may want to design this document. So I'm just going to shuffle through a few of them so you can kind of see how it's applying the different colors. So imagine for a moment we really like this style with the light blue here and then kind of the off-white here in the title section. There's an option right here at the bottom left where it says apply to all pages. When you click on that, it's going to then basically apply that same color palette to every single slide in this template. So that way you don't have to go slide by slide and actually change all the colors yourselves. You can simply do it with the click of a button. The same is true for your fonts. So if you click here, you'll notice that on this slide, it's changed the fonts for us, but it didn't do it on the rest of them. So we have to hit apply to all pages again, and then it'll start to update the font on every single page here in the document. So this is a really quick way of taking something from Canva that's already pre-built out and simply applying your own colors and your own fonts that you want to use for the document. So to demo the brand voice that we had mentioned earlier, all you need to do is find some copy within the template that you want to modify. You select all of it. There's going to be a magic write option right here you can select on. And then there's a change voice option and then apply brand voice. And what this is going to do is use the AI built into Canva, and it's going to reference the adjectives. It's basically the personality of the brand that we've identified and put into the brand kit. And it's going to give us some copy that we can then replace this generic copy with. And it's going to put it in there and it's going to give us the same fonts that we've pre-selected. And it's hopefully going to resemble the personality and the character of our brand. All right, so as you can see, Canva is quite powerful. Now that you've got your branding dialed in, it's time to work on those thumbnails. So be sure to check out the video right over here on how I make my super simple thumbnails in just 3 minutes.